Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is part 2 of boosting my K24 Honda Civic. So, first thing we're going to do today is we're going to look at the issues that we had that I told you about last video. So I'm going to show you what those issues are to remind you. Issue number 1 that we had was the wastegate not fitting right here properly. So what I've already done is remove the heater hose and remove one of the bolts coming up here to hold this bracket. And I'm going to see what other bracketry I can find out. I'm probably going to space out this bracket on this heater hose to position it properly. But basically, I need to push this off some so we have some clearance, enough clearance for the wastegate. So the wastegate that we're going to be using is this VS Racing wastegate. What I'm about to do now, before I install the wastegate, is I'm about to block the ports and put the necessary fittings on for the wastegate itself. And we're going to be running a Honda boost by gear solenoid. So we're going to put we're going to have 2 ports, one on the top and one on the bottom, for properly connecting the Honda boost by gear solenoid. So I'm going to screw this one in here, and then screw one on the bottom here. A little tough to do with one hand, as you can see. All right, so we got the bottom one screwed in now. I'm just going to tighten these 2 up. Then lastly, we want to block the other 2 off because we're not going to be using the other 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put the block off in here. And these come with the VS Racing wastegate as well. And then lastly, this flange is also utilized with this. You need to sit this flange inside of the wastegate like so that when you fit it onto the turbo manifold, it seats properly. So now let's go ahead and get this bad boy installed. As you can see, I got my wastegate mounted now, my VS Racing wastegate. Now I just got to get the heater hose, cut it to the appropriate size, and then route that in a manner that it clears the wastegate properly. And then, like I said, I got to figure a way how I'm going to mount this bracket. Try to get a good view of it. This bracket right here. See what's the best way I can get that mounted. So let's see what I can figure out. So I got the wrong size heater hose, so I got to make a quick run into town to get some what looks to be 3/4 inch heater hose. I got some 5/8 heater hose, so be back in a jiff. All right, guys, so I got the heater hose all installed up here now. Got some good clearance, as you can see here. Between the wastegate, there's actually some clearance between here. I can put my finger behind it. So we got some clearance between the wastegate now, and I also got the bracket figured out up here. See if I can get a good angle. So you can see, let me get this out of the way here. It's kind of hard to move. You can see right here, those 2 little spacers there that I put. Here we go. Move this out of the way. So I put 2 spacers there. That gave us the clearance that we needed to be able to properly mount the this hose, this bracket here. So you see that she's not going anywhere. She's intact. So we got that figured out. Next step is to move my fuel pressure regulator. That is definitely in the way of the turbo. So it was originally mounted here. I've already removed the mount from there. I'm going to probably mount it over here somewhere. Or right here somewhere. So that's the next step. All right, so I got my fuel pump regulator. I got that all situated now. I still need to kind of move some of these other hoses around, get everything a little bit more neat and orderly. And I think I figured out what I'm gonna do with my harness. But before I go there, let me show you my fuel pressure regulator, where I decided to mount that at. So I got that mounted here, got all the hoses and everything ran. Everything up out of the way here, so we're good to go for my fuel pressure regulator. So I was about to say, my harness, what I think I'm going to do here is get some a heat sleeve or heat wrap, and go around the harness here, since it's going to be so close to the turbo manifold. And I'm going to keep an eye on that as I drive the car. Once I get everything set up and I start driving it, I'm going to keep a check on that to make sure that, I'm not going to take a chance of damaging my harness with how hot the turbo manifold is getting. But yeah, I think everything is good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt my turbo back up. And the only other issue that I have is going to be for my downpipe. When I had the turbo mounted up earlier, I saw that I was going to have some clearance issues with my downpipe that I'm going to have to fabricate with these brake lines that's going to my master cylinder. So to take care of that, I went on and ordered a stainless steel braided brake lines for the master cylinder to go to my my brake proportioning valve there, so that way I can have more flex and mobility to be able to fabricate my downpipe. But yeah, I think everything's coming out so good so far. I think we're done for today. I'm gonna call it and get back out here probably tomorrow and start maybe working on the intercooler piping or see what else I want to start on next. So I really appreciate you guys watching and tuning in and looking at this build. Hope you're learning something from it. If you got any questions, please let me know down in the comment section below. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. You know I couldn't leave you guys hanging without putting the turbo back on. Look at that beast. Gosh, that's such a beautiful turbo. Soon enough, guys. Soon enough. See you in the next one.